Yeah, thanks for joining us today for Maps and App support through COVID response at Central Arkansas Water. Again, my name is Alex Harper, and I'm the GIS manager for Central Arkansas Water. I've been at CAW for a little over 12 years in various roles in the GIS department, and I have a Bachelor of Science in Spatial Information Systems with GIS from the University of Arkansas at Monticello. So a little bit about Central Arkansas Water. We're a metropolitan water system that serves a population of approximately 500,000 citizens. CAW is currently a core partner in a regional initiative to secure future sources of safe drinking water for the entirety of Central Arkansas. Central Arkansas region is really an urban region, and it has a population of around 750,000 people. So basically, in a sense, 1 in every 7 Arkansans benefit from CAW's essential and exceptional service. What drives CAW is our strong mission statement. And I've kind of highlighted part of that here in delivering high quality water and dependable service that exceed customer expectations. And that really was key during this pandemic. And so I really wanted to kind of highlight what really drives and motivates CAW as a whole. We've got to make sure that we provide that essential and exceptional water service to the great people of Central Arkansas. So here at CAW, we have a really robust and really talented GIS department. We have 7 highly talented GIS professionals that include a field data collector who really oversees a lot of the GPS that we have done, a GIS database coordinator who dives off into our work order management system that ties in with our GIS, and several GIS technicians that put in and make sure that our GIS is put in at high standards through a really robust QC process that we have. So the type of features that our GIS team maintain and put in, mains and valves and hydrants and meters. We have about 2,700 miles of main that we maintain in our system. We have 3 different water treatment facilities. We maintain the assets in a relational database where everything is related to one another, and then you can pull up different features that way. We have 2 surface water sources, Lake Maumelle and Lake Winona, and we also manage over 115,000 acres in our watershed. So that was our GIS team. Our one team that really came together at the beginning of this pandemic was CAW's pandemic response team. And this team is made up of department heads and subject matter experts from various roles throughout the organization. These roles were chosen as essential to keep the operations going during an emergency like a viral pandemic. This team works really close together and comes up with those decisions that will ensure the continuity of operations at CAW. Decisions about mask wearing and social distancing policies for our employees, closing the lobby to the public. That was one area that we saw early on, that to protect employees' health was to limit the contact with outside customers, and so we closed our lobby down after some big debate about that. Another decision that was made was work from home. If you would have mentioned working from home to anybody here at CAW prior to March of last year, they probably would have laughed you out of the building. But the decision to allow people to continue to work from home allowed people to continue working, and we've really realized that is going to be a big thing for us in the future. And so, continuing to work from home was a big discussion that this team really dove off into. Health and safety protocols. A number of guys that can ride in a truck and stuff like that were also discussed. So this team really has kept CAW going through this pandemic in a really nice way. And there's been a lot of discussions along the way. And we continue to meet, twice a week right now, especially with the numbers increasing here in Arkansas. Um, to go along with the pandemic response team was this continuity of operations plan, or co-op for short, is what we kind of refer to it here. And it's kind of a fluid document that is finally kind of written, and as we move forward, it kind of adjusts with the way things are going. So to kind of follow up again on our mission statement to provide that essential and exceptional water service for the great people of Central Arkansas. We needed to make sure that we had what we were going to do lined out in a document. While an emergency or a pandemic, a viral illness pandemic, really stops operations at a point, we've got to figure out how to rapidly and efficiently resume those and get those back up. And that's what this document really did. Was it kind of lined out, okay, we knew exactly what we were going to have to do next, type thing. And so that pandemic response team has been keeping this plan up to date as we move through this pandemic. So one of the biggest discussions that can come up right away was, how do we track our personnel at all the various different locations that we have throughout the region that our employees report to. So, like most people that are in some sort of IT or GIS field, we're really great with Excel and creating Excel spreadsheets. And so, and that was the first thing that was spun up, that was shared through a Microsoft Teams team. And, it was a way for us to track personnel. As you can see just by this screen capture, the spreadsheet really got hard to maintain and hard to read and actually figure out who was where and who is out, and keep it up to date with multiple people in and changing things. So it was just really hard to really comprehend how we were going to use this moving forward. So about that time, Esri really started putting out this new solution, the Esri Business Continuity solution, that used ArcGIS Pro to deploy the solution. It came with several template survey 1, 2, 3s and dashboards that could be manipulated or kind of changed as needed, customized, I guess is the word to use, to your benefit. And I really have to point out and give props to Eric Wagner, Esri support, who he was really key in helping me deploy this solution and get the surveys customized, get the dashboards up and going. And my account rep with Esri, Jay Hoffman, got me in contact with Eric, and we got really hooked up through a Teams meeting, and we're able to get things deployed. And we'll talk a little bit about this solution right now. So the survey 1, 2, 3, it actually came with 2 different templates, a individual template where somebody could themselves go through and enter in the information, and then it came with a team survey. And this survey was one that a supervisor would go through and fill out the numbers of their staff that they supervise that are reporting to their normal location, or working from home, or absent, out on PTO, experiencing COVID-19 symptoms, or they have somebody in their household that are. So they would fill out this survey daily. They still do. That's something that's still done at the supervisor level. um, and that information is stored in a database, and we've all kind of seen those cool web applications, COVID web applications. Probably since they cool because of COVID, and the numbers keep rising, but by now we've all seen those type of applications that use technology like this to display those numbers in a dashboard format. And this one just really helped us with our kind of tracking of the personnel to see who's affected, what areas are affected, and kind of see things on a daily basis. So like I mentioned, staff like supervisors and management and field staff use these survey 123s, and since the majority of employees at CAW use GIS in some way already, I was told multiple times that they felt like it was easy to deploy and something like a survey 123 because they were already kind of familiar with what we're doing. And so that was really key on getting this spun up and going pretty quick. So here it is. Here's our dashboard that survey feeds into. Those numbers, everybody that fills out a survey and they submit it, these numbers get updated in real time as those surveys get submitted. And again, these dashboards are really helpful to upper management to kind of see at a glance, where are we affected at. And so I know management has really appreciated and used this. Not only management, but our board of commissioners, get to see this, at our monthly board meetings, and on an as-need basis too. If they really want to see, how are we being affected by COVID-19. Not only in numbers, but in graph forms, you can see just how, what the trends are in different areas and across the entire company. And, we were able to put these graphs up to be able to show, you can pull down one of those other dashboards like I was talking about before and see, okay, are we trending like other locations, like the state, like the country? What is our trends? And that's what these graphs really helped kind of show. Also managing the different locations I was talking about before across our region. We set it up with a map, and below that map it would show, how many personnel are reporting at these different locations, how many are out at that location. Do we need to send more guys over there? Is that building closed to our personnel, to our staff? Is it closed to the public? Things like that. So we were able to add that kind of aspect into it too for our health and safety guys to really see that on a quick look. They also use this. This was kind of cool too. That they also use this to be able to buy and provide lunches at locations. They could look at it and see, okay, how many people are reporting in this location, and so they knew that they could buy breakfast, tray or whatever for that location to show the support and appreciation to those personnel over there. So it's used in a wide variety of ways and reasons. It's really cool when you think about it, even though we are in a pandemic. Our chief operating officer, Blake Weindorf, is known for some really good quotes, and this was a long one, but I did underline a main part that I did want to highlight in what he said. He said it's easier for directors and supervisors to enter daily information compared to the spreadsheet that we previously were using. It allows management to view data and spot any trends that might arise. And again, just kind of follow up. It just really nicely summarized this. And again, I know they really appreciate the work that we put in to get this up and going. So that was about our dashboard and survey 123s. Kind of going back to that co-op statement, that CAW's mission statement as well. We got to provide that essential service. We've got to deliver that high quality water and that dependable service. Right at the beginning of this pandemic, it was decided that we were going to suspend shutoffs on locations. And actually, we decided we were going to go through and we were actually going to turn water back on. So the next application that I want to talk to you about is just an application that we spun up really quick for that. And it just real straightforwardly named our pandemic turn-on map. And like I said, right at the beginning, it was decided that we were going to suspend those shutoffs and actually turn water back on. Turn water back on to those customers that had been shut off in the past 60 days. So again, since water is essential, it's needed, especially during a pandemic, for cleaning, washing, and drinking. You need good, safe drinking water for everybody. So we decided that, okay, we've got to turn water back on, even if they've been shut off. We've got to provide that water. So over a weekend, extra weekend staff was called in to do this, and normally something like this we would plan out, and we would use our work order management system, CityWorks, to be able to send crews out and do this. But since we were pulling in just about anybody that we could, kind of on a whim, a lot of folks that we pulled in didn't have access to CityWorks, and so we spun up this really quick, lightweight application that pulled in a save search from CityWorks and that we had saved and hosted as a feature service, and those icons actually changed as services were being turned back on, and and it was just really key since it was pushed out to mobile devices and can be accessed in the field, to turn on about roughly about 500 services is what we went back and turned on over a weekend. It was pretty amazing just how quickly we were able to get those services back on. Again, that application was used by distribution field staff and customer service field staff, and again, just anyone else that we could grab on short notice. And to have that application, just a lightweight, just pulling in that safe search was very key in getting those services turned back on. So just kind of summarize the software and application information that we used. ArcGIS Pro, of course, we had to use to deploy the solution, and the ArcGIS Online web maps and web apps that we spun up, Survey 123, and that whole entire business continuity solution that Esri provided, along with our CityWorks and our AVL, the vehicle tracking GPS, was really key, and has been and will continue to be key for us moving through this pandemic.